Hi everyone, thanks for joining me. I'm Emily Casey with Trans Options, and this is our latest Lunch and Learn series on bike riding for families. It is perfect bike riding weather out there right now, and sometimes parents think now that they have kids, they might ride less and need to drive more, but that's absolutely not the case. With some minor adaptations, you'll be able to get out there and enjoy yourselves as a whole family together riding. So some tips here. Bike riding is just such a fun, healthy, affordable, and sustainable activity for everyone to enjoy together and really kind of bond and spend time as a family. So I hope that you're able to follow some of these ideas and get out there, sooner than later. So the first thing you want to make sure you're doing is ride ready. Definitely check everybody's helmets. Helmets are definitely not something that you want to be passing down from older kid to younger kid. They only last about 2 to 3 years. If they have any cracks on the top, or if the foam on the inside is yellowing or kind of breaking apart, definitely time to get a new one. When you're fitting your helmets, we keep in mind the rule of 2 fingers. So when the helmet's on your head, this is something you can do with your kids as well. Put up 2 fingers and no more than 2 fingers between your eyebrows and the brim of the helmet. So you don't want it to be too far back or forward. And then 2 fingers, this is the trickiest part, the side straps here, around your ear to make a nice tight V. And then if this needs adjusting, you do that with this little plastic piece right here and on both sides. And then lastly, that chin strap should fit snug but not too tight. Slide those same 2 fingers in between the chin and your strap, and then if you can, wiggle around but just a little bit, that's a perfectly fit helmet. Model good behaviors and wear your helmet too. All right. So when you're thinking about where to ride, think about beginner terrain that is flat and most likely going to be paved. Think about maybe a multi-use trail that is easily accessible to you. Work up to harder things like hills or unpaved trails or routes with more traffic over time. Dress in comfortable, loose-fitting clothing, wear something that's bright, and bring along some layers with you for when you stop and take a snack break. Bring lots of water, and can never have too many snacks and sunscreen. Kids also really like to carry their own, so you give them the responsibility with outfitting their bike with a water bottle holder or a front basket is always an easy sell for kids usually. Make sure that you're checking your bikes before heading out. So you want to make sure that your your tires have plenty of air, and you can find that PSI rating on the tires. Kids' bike tires are easy to pop if you fill them with too much air, so be mindful of that. Make sure that everyone's brakes are working properly and that your chains are running nice and smoothly. Hop on your bike, give it a quick little test ride before heading out. And if you hear anything that sounds strange or anything that's rubbing, address those issues and concerns before you're out on your ride. You also want to carry a small first aid kit with you with a few extra Band-Aids, and consider some light bike maintenance tools and a tire patch kit as well in case you encounter a flat on your ride. Okay, so when you're out riding, keep your instructions brief and make sure everybody in the group knows when and where to stop. So that's super important so that everyone stays together and no one gets too separated from one another. You want to point out safety hazards when riding, such as potholes, cracks, and loose gravel. And you can do that by playing games. I really like to play I Spy when you're pointing out those safety hazards. Another fun game to play is Follow the Leader, and then everyone's sticking together. Take lots of water and snack breaks, because why not? The whole idea is to have fun together. It's not about going the distance. And then be positive and offer specific encouragement and praises, to help get that extra mile. Another game that you can play or just sort of celebrate when you're out there together is when you reach mile markers. And so you can do a little extra fun thing, maybe at each mile marker, or set little mini goals and try to get to that specific mile marker under a specific time. Could be a really fun motivator too. But also be sure to know, like, when is it time to turn around and go back? You probably want to make that decision before you feel like, I really wish we were over and done with this and your kids are crying. So kind of be a little bit more preventative in that, and kind of head back before you think you're absolutely ready to. A little bit of traffic safety to keep in mind too. If you think that your child is ready to ride on the road, you want to make sure they understand some of these basic tips. So make sure they understand that their bike is like another vehicle on the road, that may need to follow the same laws, signals, and procedures that motorists are following out there. When crossing the street or turning, always look both ways. Make eye contact with other users of the road to convey intention and what you're about to do out there. Be alert, especially watch out for riding in the door zone or that space where a car could open its door and you could get hit by that. And then also teach your kids not to kind of have fun by weaving in and out of parked cars or around potholes or sewer grates. It's definitely a good idea to pick a straight line and stick to it. You're much more predictable that way. Want to be visible. We talked about wearing bright clothing, but also bring your bike lights and turn them on. Kids have fun. They like the idea that their lights are flashing on their bike. You also might want to think about some audible devices like a bell, or this is a super fun old school horn. Maybe pick something that is not too irritating of a sound, because your kid's going to want to be turning their horn on as much as possible, but let them know the proper times to do that, of course. You want to be riding on the right with the flow of traffic always. And then review with your child proper hand signals. So we just do kind of arms straight out for right, left, and then stop. And they could be pointing too is good. Want to make sure that they know the proper place to ride in the road. So again, you can follow the leader. Always dismount and get off your bike when crossing in crosswalks, and let pedestrians know when you're about to pass. That'd be the courteous thing to do. You want to also do that when you're riding on trails. And slow down at intersections. Make sure that you're taking extra caution when crossing railroad tracks, and you're doing so at perpendicular or 90-degree angles. And really, that's it. Happy riding. Enjoy yourselves together as a family, and be safe. Thanks, guys, for listening. See you next time.